Here we go! Okay, let's go!
And welcome everyone to episode 31 of the 1UpXP show. Today we're taking you into Destiny 2. They just released a brand new DLC that you have to pay for, but it is phenomenal. The gameplay, the story, man, it's been a long time since I've had this much fun in Destiny. In Destiny 2, let me tell you, this DLC is worth getting. But me and Burr take you into kind of the last encounter of the story. And we're not going to ruin anything for you, but here's how we did it. Take a look.
I can invite somebody. Already started it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wizards must be empowering them.
Oh my god.
No. Oh, there's somebody there.
Dead. Oh, that's right. Ads. I think the ads are dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh!
I think we're out of... no, we got 15 seconds. I'm out. Rebel's about to go. Oh, there it is.
Good damage.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and preserve my, my heavy.
She's dead. Nice. Oh, Nova. Oh, that hurt.
She ran away. Come on, man. It's not, though.
This is what happens when she gets to half, apparently. All right.
Lightning.
Let's go back.
Yeah. Okay. Get out of there. Going up the side again.
Okay. Oh, I'm out of that. Oh, she's hurting.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not here? Okay, there you go. I'm so confused. Still hitting her?
Yep. It's almost dead. I'll have mine once you pop yours. Maybe not.
Miss. Oh, that hurt. Oh, there's a thrall?
He was like body blocking me. Oh, I'm useless. I'm gonna go distract her from the left. Or try to.
Alright, I'm out.
Okay. She was looking at you and threw the knives at me. Got a thrall behind you. Good.
Alright.
Crap.
Oh, skip.
I swear, this one dodges so much better than the other ones.
Dead.
Dead. Alright.
Oh, nice.
Alright, I'm here. Bubble up. Good damage, good damage.
Oh, good job. Lightning. We got 10 seconds.
Void,
Nova.
void, void. Nice. Piece of crap.
Lightning.
Lightning.
We got her.
Yes.
Do we have to get her ghost?
I hope not.
And once again, that was the last encounter of the campaign or the story that you get. And we didn't want to ruin anything for you by any lore or ruining any of the story. So we showed you just how we did it. It took us a good 3 hours to get that down to a science where you kill the wizards first and then go in and take out the big witch. And then you just rinse and repeat. You do the wizards again, go in, pop a bubble, get some extra power, and just take her down until she has no strength left. Man, it was tough, but a good time. Now, coming up next on the 1UpXP show, we have an amazing interview with McKeel Hagerty. He is the CEO of Hagerty Insurance, and they just made a huge deal with Sony PlayStation because their classic car collection is going into Gran Turismo 7. We'll have that right after the break. Welcome, everyone. I'm joined by McKeel Hagerty here. That is, first of all, I am honored and happy to have McKeel here to talk about this amazing opportunity that Hagerty has with Sony and Sony has with Hagerty as well, and what Northern Michigan has for esports. You've made a deal, so to kind of catch everybody up, you made a deal with Sony Interactive or PlayStation for everybody to make the Hagerty collection, the car collection, the 70-plus vehicles in that collection available for players to learn and use in Sony's flagship title game, Gran Turismo 7. Tell me, man, how did this come about? Like, this is huge news, not only for you guys, but also for Sony in Northern Michigan. But how did this come about?
Well, thank you. We had been exploring really the entire world of esports and interactive gaming as it related to the car world, because we knew that a lot of the next generation of car people were gaining access to and learning about cars, both just regular road cars as well as certainly motorsports, racing, using video game platforms. And they've been around forever, right? Like, but only in really these last couple of generations do they really simulate, emulate, look so real. And set aside, kind of the larger esport phenomenon, just the games themselves as console games were just getting so good. So we were doing a lot of exploration because our view is, it's the Wayne Gretzky line, right? You skate where the puck is going, not where the puck is. And we knew for the long-term growth of the company, we had to have a relationship with one of those. Sony was really engaged in the conversation with us because the founders of the studios over there and the teams of engineers in Japan who created Gran Turismo to begin with and have been the stewards of it from the beginning didn't just view this as like some business of selling video games. They're really serious about the car world. They're really serious about motorsport, and it's meant to be an eye-opening, almost travel log like experience. And so they're artists. They're just incredible. We're so grateful. It took forever to get the deal done. That's the only thing I would say.
Yeah.
So it took a long time.
Now, you also are in the game. You yourself, McKeel, are also in the game as an awesome avatar form. I have to ask, because I'm always curious in this. Now, motion capture, did you have to visit for the studios to get them your avatar in there and mocap, as we call it, the motion capture and the movement and everything?
Well, they're pretty good now. You know, they can work from photographs. And of course,
Okay.
I know these guys. So we did a lot of recording and we did a lot of approval of all the scripts and everything, because what I am, technically, the way they presented it to me is you're going to be a guide within this collection, right? So there's the Legends Garage, Legend cars, which are the best cars ever in the history of motorsport in the world. And if you have enough credits within the game, you can go purchase these cars within the game and add them to your own garages in your own collection.
Mm-hmm.
And that branded collection, the Legend Garage, is branded Hagerty, and I'm a guide within this environment. And what was funny, though, here's the kind of funny aspect, is they kept saying, no, you'll be, again, they're Japanese, right? These are serious Japanese artists, engineers, and they're saying, you will now be a buddy. You're going to be a buddy within the game. And I'm like, what does that mean? And, you know, because I said, I'm sure it sounds like way better in Japanese than it sounds in English. And they said, no, that means guide. You know, it means like you're a guide, you're taking people along, you're educating them. So it allowed me to kind of create this voice within the game of being helpful, you know, kind of bringing people along. Hey, here's a really cool car. You know, the James Bond Aston Martin DB5 in the game, which from the movie Goldfinger, I can talk about the movie, and you know, anybody who wanted to be part of, you know, be James Bond like I did growing up wants to have an Aston Martin DB5. So if you're big into Gran Turismo, you can go to the website, log in your account. You can see all the leaderboard activity. You can see how you're performing in your state, in your city.
Yep.
Like, it's super cool just from a competitive aspect. That's where the esports comes in.
Correct.
But the other piece of it for us is that because Hagerty is the leading source of data for the values of these types of cars. So we're dynamically pricing how much the cars cost within the game based on what's really happening in the car world. So Ferrari GTO, most valuable car in the world, you know, they're $70 million right now. It's crazy, most valuable car in the world. But when they're worth 80 or they're worth 90, they're going to cost more within the game to get. And that's kind of one of the things that we wanted to bring to the table. And that's where the connectivity back to Hagerty in the real world matters to us.
You unlock the cars through game in progression. You have the credits. You can add them to your libraries. Did you have any say in which cars will release at certain points in the game, or did they just kind of evaluate the cars on the Hagerty tool and release them that way?
You know, that was a big piece of it, is to try to figure out how to connect the dots there and to make sure that we were talking about real world stuff. They had already had a number of cars designated as legend cars, and they had already scanned them. They had done recordings of actual exhaust tones. So they're really deliberate in it. And now going forward, we're partners. So we're going to help them say, look, hey, here are the next 3 or 4, you know, we can do 2 a year, or we can do 4 a year, whatever. It's a function of actually cost to scan these cars at the level that they do, because they look so darn real. There's a very special McLaren in the game that if you're a Hagerty Drivers Club member, you can now unlock a special car within the game that is a Hagerty liveried McLaren race car. So that was another kind of cool feature for us, is to have an actual Hagerty car within the game.
The Gran Turismo franchise turns 25 years old this year. Now, I will say I picked up the original back in the PlayStation day, way back, I think 1997, and it was awe-inspiring because this game was futuristic as all get out. 85 million copies of this game, this franchise, have been sold worldwide in that time. It is the highest-selling game franchise under the Sony PlayStation brand. What's it mean to Hagerty in Northern Michigan to be in this game?
Well, it really puts us on the map. We love the global aspect of it. And also, contrary to a lot of people's beliefs, this is not all like just kids playing. Adults play these games. The games are fun. Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of people, 30s, 40s, you know, 50 years old playing the game. I mean, there's a big bell curve of people more like in their 20s. I think an older generation thinks about these games and esports in general, that somehow it's just children. and youth. It's not. It's very much an adult activity. It's super fun. It's social, and it's a global activity. And it crosses over because we've started seeing in the motorsport world some of the first examples of younger people who get the console, they get good at the game, then they start doing the more like, more serious versions. And we're now seeing our first examples of those drivers making the leap into professional motorsport, and they're very good. The numbers were really surprising to us. It's just very different. The biggest car magazine in the world barely gets 1 million readers.
Right.
These platforms have 10 times that on them.
But what do you want players to take away from your collection and the information education in this game experience with Gran Turismo 7 in your collection?
Well, for one thing, what we really wanted to do is honor the fact that these people who are really passionate about games is that, they're smart, they can be great leaders, they can be great workers for companies, they can be great entrepreneurs, they can do all of these things. And that's why the only way we decided to do this is that if we came in at a very high level on a really high quality platform like Sony and the Gran Turismo franchise. So we're thrilled about it and really want to honor the people who are into playing and interacting with these games and who do it in the right way, and then bring that expertise that they bring into the kind of real analog world, because we need more of it. Our purpose is to save driving and car culture for future generations. Sounds like a big, bold claim, but a lot of it came out of this kind of chatter that we've been hearing for the last decade, that somehow young people aren't interested in cars, aren't interested in driving, and that cars were just going away and they were going to be some sort of autonomous robotic little blobs. And we were seeing something very different, and that is that the next generations are interested in cars. They may not. What they struggle with sometimes is, do they have enough money to afford the cars that they want? And that's why we're passionate about entrepreneurship. That's why we're passionate about people, starting businesses, working for good companies, and recognizing that we think the passion for cars is going to exist a long, long time in the future, decades and decades down the road. So for us, getting involved with Sony and Gran Turismo, PlayStation, the whole thing was about serving our purpose. How do we save driving and car culture? We need on-ramps where people who are interested in this stuff where it's easy for them to interact. And for us, it's inspirational and it's important to do these things, and it serves our purpose.
But then again, McKeel, I really do appreciate it, man. Thank you for joining me.
My pleasure. Thank you.
The 1UpXP Show will be right back after this break. And welcome back, everyone, to the 1UpXP Show. Our powerhouse show continues as we sit down with a member of FaZe Clan, FaZe Didz, coach for their PUBG team. We sit down and look into the professional coaching of esports and how he goes about doing it. And this is going to be a 3-part series. But here's the first part, because, coaching in esports is, relatively new, just as the esports. And we've talked to collegiate coaches. We've talked to kind of how they do it. But the pro scene is very different. Take me through we're kind of merging these two questions, but take me through what it looks like in a life and a day of PUBG coach FaZe Didz, if you will. So what goes into coaching and what's your day look like?
Yeah, so I always answer this question by saying that it's different depending on if we're working online or on LAN.
Right.
If it's online, I work with a European team, so I get to wake up at a relatively normal time here on the East Coast. I think it would be different if I was West Coast, but at least here on the East Coast, I get to eat breakfast. I get to do some exercise if I want in the morning, or, and around noon is usually when we get on Discord as a team and, we prep for scrims or official matches, depending on what we have for that day.
Right.
And I'd say it's about, 5 to 7 hours a day of active commitment with the full team on the days that we have play or practice, so like official matches or practice, and then I would say a couple more hours, give or take, working with players individually on the side on like calls for review, or just like talking through any concerns or anything that might come up. It can be anything. It can be like what's going on with their life. It can be something within the game. It can be maybe two of the teammates have a feud, and you just have to like get them both in a call and just like fix it, somehow. And it's literally different depending on what's going on with the team, obviously, and what the team goals are and the team focuses are. But I much more prefer working in person. That's why I get to it's different on LAN, where I get to be more hands-on with my team. I get to spend time with them. I get to work on that team bond and building that all important positive team culture.
Correct.
Making sure their mentality is where it needs to be for competing at the highest level. So there's no form of tilt, which is basically a lot of people would explain tilt as, just getting really upset to where like you're not focused on what you need to be, and you're like focused on
you don't want to be
getting
tilted
angry all the time. You don't want to be tilted. But yeah, online is just or online, it's just a better overall experience, just because you have that personal touch, and building that team bond and that team environment. I always kind of give this example, like online players can just check out. They can literally, like, when I'm talking to my players, I don't know for sure,
right?
Like maybe I can get them on webcam, right? But we don't like to do that. But I don't know for sure if he's listening to what I have to say, if he's actually paying attention, if I have his full focus. He could be on his phone on the side. He could have a second monitor with some YouTube video or something. You know what I mean?
Yep. Or he could be sitting there playing a game. You never know.
Or it can be playing some other game. Yeah, exactly. In person, I have his full attention. I know he's looking at me. I know he's paying attention to what I'm explaining. Yep. I know he's a part of that active conversation. So it's just a lot better feeling. You can get, you can work through things a lot better, and it's just a more efficient way of doing things.
And again, we'll have part 2 and part 3 next week. But a huge thank you to FaZe Didz for sitting down and talking the professional coach scene and in esports and what it involves when it comes to him and how he wants to run that team. But we have one more segment left here on the 1UpXP show. We'll be right back. And that does it for episode 31. Thank you guys for hanging out with me this week. And don't forget, check out the campaign that we're running for A Kid Again. Is running through the month of March, capped off by a 24-hour live stream that's going to be at the news station on April 7th through April 8th. Going to be a good time raising good money for a great organization, A Kid Again. Be good, stay safe, take care. Have a wonderful week.